I would like to introduce Lillie Ly.
Good afternoon. Life changes after we graduate, but we keep moving forward. This statement is easy to believe for many young adults, but for those who might not have attended the right school or been provided the necessary support, it can feel as if there's little to look forward to after graduation. We get caught up in a victim mentality that can easily sweep us away into a life of hopelessness and fear. But for those of us here today, we have chosen not to be victims. We have chosen a life of purpose and a direction paved by success. We stand here today with 91 strong, smart, independent young adults who are ready to take the world by storm. I am Lillie Ly, and I never thought I would be at a graduation a year ago, let alone speaking in front of a crowd this size. It's an honor to stand before you here today, not only to represent Year Up Puget Sound, but also the Year Up movement nationwide. This last year has been a very important part of my life, and I'd like to share a little bit more about my journey. I arrived in Washington not too long ago to a shockingly different culture from the Georgia I was born and raised. You see, the Northwest is what most Southerners like to call the nosebleed section of the country. My life was just reaching one of its peaks. I was a high schooler with a boatload of friends and everything going for her. And in one blink of an eye, I was in a rainy city with rainy people and, quite frankly, rainy schools. Unlike many of my high school peers, I didn't go into a four-year university full-time. I didn't think that dream schools like the University of Washington or PLU were made for people like me. And for the longest time, I let this lack of confidence keep me from accomplishing my goals. What I dreamt of was a place where I could expand my mind freely and gain a sense of accomplishment from my progress. A place where I could look around and find people who I identify with. A place where I could defy expectations and the opportunity I was born with. I was able to find that place when I came across Year Up. The first few weeks of our program were filled with uncertainty. We were unsure of our classmates, the staff, and the tasks we had ahead of us. We soon realized, although, the image of Year Up varies by whom you ask. But one thing was sure, Year Up is a challenge, not a scam, not a back-end way to success, and most definitely not a charity case. In one way or another, all of my classmates have been challenged here, whether it be with homework, professionalism, or things outside of our workspace. We had to develop a high level of patience and grit. We were spending a year of our lives here, after all, devoting our time to soaking in as much knowledge as we possibly could. But these accomplishments were not a simple task. On our path to success, there have been loss, sadness, and joy, but most of all, faith. Faith that we could finally receive the opportunities we had been denied. Faith and the opportunities that we were worth, that we have worked for and deserve. I want you to take a long second to look at my classmates today. They are the products of long study hours, souls fighting for their chance at real, true success. But most importantly, they are the products of the love, time, and sweat our staff has put into us. And for that, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Over the course of the program, we learned that success or being successful doesn't mean how much money you make or what job you have, but how hard you can get hit and stand back up again. And boy, did we stand back up. Not alone, but as a community. At the end of our 6 months in the classroom, we clutched our internship announcement folders tightly, eagerly awaiting where we would go next. When we opened our folders, our nerves were at an all-time high as visions of our next steps swept through our minds. I earned an internship at Microsoft as a software test engineer. I was tasked with a data analytics project that would help employees do their jobs just a little bit more efficiently. My team supported me along the way, and I thank them for their guidance and mentorship. Even though we were learning and doing so much, we weren't a band of robotic vessels being taught random things. We were a family, and we are a family, and I think it's best that we pay homage to that. To Jimmy Mock, for being one of the best instructors Year Up will ever have. We love you, and we miss you very much. Rest in peace. And to our families, the Patricia and Amadou Lees of the world, for the investment you have made in us so that we could make it to this point. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts as well. The challenge of Year Up, we soon realized, doesn't end at graduation. Our biggest challenge will become when we become alumni. The battle that we are molded to fight for is the opportunity divide that still lingers in our communities. The opportunity divide that continues to affect us as we advance in the corporate world. We must remember that sometimes we will be faced with the temptations of the past to doubt our own worth, ambition, and abilities. As alumni, we have a commitment to become productive, self-reliant, courageous adults. The kind of people who aren't afraid to do the right thing, especially when no one is looking. It is our duty to lead the ones who look up to us and help mentor young adults struggling through this opportunity divide. This program doesn't end with us. And as I wrap up today, I would like to leave you with this. Fear has no direction unless you give it one. One of the secrets of the mind is that it is in our natural instinct to fear the unknown and the roads less traveled. Fear is comfortable, like an old, unwanted friend. We know it well, and it holds us back. But today we say, fear, we don't want you in our lives anymore. You will make way for confidence and success. Today, I challenge us to try something new. And if you fail at it, you're not a failure as long as you get up, dust off, take notes, and keep moving. Thank you.